This is the disclaimer for Wildlife Control Consultant and Pest Geek Podcast for the Living the Wildlife podcast. Always follow national, state, provincial, and local laws when using pesticides and or other control methods to manage pests. Wildlife Control Consultant, LLC, Pest Geek Podcast, Living the Wildlife Podcast, Stephen M. Van Tassel, or their or his affiliates are not responsible for followers' use of the information provided here. Hi everyone, Stephen Van Tassel here, Wildlife Control Consultant, bringing you another episode of the Living the Wildlife podcast with the Pest Geek Podcast family. So, hey, sorry you're not seeing my face now. I wanted to show you a new product I purchased, and those of you who've been following my career and my work with wildlife damage, you know I have a sort of a fascination with photography, and I kind of improved my skills. But one of the things I'm always looking for is portability. How do I make the equipment I have with me work better? And so this is what I'm wanting to focus on here. And I wanted to tell you about a new tool that I picked up and wanted to tell you a little about it so that see if it may work for you, and just introducing it for you here. So stay tuned. So what I have here is called the Geometrical Pocket Tripod Pro. Now you have some knockoffs on the market. This is the real deal. This is not a knockoff. This is I guess the original founder is, if I understand that correctly. So I picked it up. It's about $35, and so it comes in this really neat package. I bought the deluxe where it has all the attachments. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. So I have my phone here on this little tripod. One of the issues you have in the field is sometimes you need a way to have a steady shot. Maybe you're in low light areas and you need a way to get the phone out of your hand. Now there's a lot of devices out on the market to do that with. Let me pull one out here for you. You can pick up something like this, and that's pretty neat. Sort of a gorilla thing, and there's an attachment, and that's one way. But look at how big and bulky that is, right? I'm not dissing this. I'm just saying I want something that's very, very portable, and that's what attracted me to this particular device, because let me show you. So it basically allows you to sit your phone up and be hands-free, which is pretty cool. And you basically, let me pull it out here. There it is. Now, it's supposed to have these, if I can look at it closely here, these are supposed to rotate back and forth. I have had big trouble getting them rotated. The manufacturer told me that I'm supposed to warm this up a little bit. That's kind of hard here in Montana in the wintertime. Maybe it'd work better in warmer weather. I held it between my hands for, maybe 30 seconds tops and tried to rotate it. So I had trouble with it. When I first got it, I was trying to rotate it. What I mean by rotate, it's supposed to go up and down like this. And I was able to get it rotated once, but I ended up breaking it. But it's still functional even when it's broken. And they were cool enough to send me a replacement. So I really got to hand that out to them. So let's show you what this looks like. You're basically snapping it off like this, and then you rotate it, and voila, it's as thin as like a credit card. How cool is that? Now, my one criticism is that you need a way to sort of put it into something, because I'm afraid I'm going to crack it in my wallet. I like to carry things in my wallet. Those of you who ever remember the Seinfeld episode, Costanza, that's my wallet. Look at how thick my wallet is. But I carry it in my front pocket, not my hip. But I always carry cards. But anyways, this is pretty cool. I just haven't found a way to carry it in my wallet, but I guess you could carry it in your shirt pocket. I just want something stiff so I don't damage it. So you pull it out and you rotate it like this, and then you have to pop it. So this side pops out like this, and then you rotate it. See how I broke it? I broke it before, and I even broke it a little bit more today. And then you have that, and that creates your little tripod. And it does work. I mean, I kind of wedge it in there, and I have an OtterBox on my phone, and it still works. You may say, well, I have a thicker OtterBox. Maybe you have the kind that you can drop like 20 feet and your phone's still fine. No problem, because that's why I bought the deluxe version, and the deluxe version here has all of these attachments for different sizes for the width of your phone, so that these will pull out and you can put a different one in. Thankfully, mine fit the one that came with it originally, but you can swap it out. And it has this little measuring tool to help you figure out which measurement you should have. But mine's 10 millimeters because I have a little bit of a lip here. But I have a very thin cover OtterBox on my phone. I haven't really taken the time out to check it out to see how, taking photos with it and stuff. I'm just still playing with it. But like I said, they did send me another one and no additional charge, which is really cool. Here's one of the pieces that broke off. If you're careful with it, it should be fine. But I'm fascinated by the idea, and it's called the Pocket Tripod. Maybe it's something for those of you looking for a way, you're doing a lot of low light photography, you don't want to carry around a 35 millimeter camera, that sort of thing, then, maybe this is something for you to check out. But I'm still optimistic about it, and I'm really proud of the company for, standing behind their product. It's not some $7 deal, and you get all these attachments with it, some instructions. I wish the instructions were a little bit better on how to get this to rotate, because that would really be cool to be able to rotate your phone back and forth so you're getting the shot and angle you want, especially when you're dealing with low light or you're needing to do a macro shot or something and you really need to get up close to something. So I'm hopeful, give this a whirl at a future time and really play with it some more. But there it is, $35, Pocket Tripod Pro Universal. Maybe something you want to try out, have something with you that you can have your little tripod for your phone so you can do those low light shots and difficult shots as well. Photography is an important aspect of being a good wildlife control operator. You need to document your work, but you also need to get your own photos for your website, guys. Stop stealing stuff. All right, stop borrowing it. I mean, I'm willing to sell photos. I'm looking to buy photos. So if you're wondering, oh, it ain't worth the time to take the photo. Yeah, it is, but it's important to take a good, crisp shot with your cell phone. I have an iPhone 10, iPhone 12s are even better. Some of the new Droid phones are absolutely amazing. So this is a universal thing and can work on a lot of different phones. You'll get your little measuring thing. Check it out. Pocket Tripod Pro. I'm not making any money on this video. The company has not asked me to do a review of it. I'm just always looking for stuff for wildlife control operators that's easy to carry, useful, that helps make your job better and look more professional. I'm Stephen Van Tassel, Wildlife Control Consultant. Stay tuned. I'll probably have more to say about this in the future. Take a few moments, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to our podcast. Tell us what you're thinking. Happy to hear it. Oh, one more thing. I'm willing to give one of my books to the first person who sends me tells me which one of my podcasts I said that there's a fumigation, aluminum phosphide works on with the kangaroo rats. I had a person call me today, said that I said that. I don't recall saying it. It turns out there isn't. Aluminum phosphide's not used for fumigating burrows of kangaroo rats. So it's not on the label, so you can't use it. Just remember, whenever we're talking pesticides, always follow the label. I make mistakes sometimes, but I'm willing to send a book to anybody who gets me that information. I don't recall saying it. I think I said rat, but maybe I had a little slip of the tongue. Let me know. I'll send you out a copy. You can reach me at wildlifecontrolconsultant@gmail.com, Wildlife Control Consultant. So, hey, appreciate the feedback, folks. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. We're all in this together. Be safe out there. And remember, we want you to live the wildlife. Why? Because we don't want you to be the wildlife. Take care, everybody.
This is the disclaimer for Wildlife Control Consultant and Pest Geek Podcast for the Living the Wildlife podcast. Always follow national, state, provincial, and local laws when using pesticides and or other control methods to manage pests. Wildlife Control Consultant, LLC, Pest Geek Podcast, Living the Wildlife Podcast, Stephen M. Van Tassel, or their or his affiliates are not responsible for followers' use of the information provided here. This is the disclaimer for Wildlife Control Consultant and Pest Geek Podcast for the Living the Wildlife podcast. Always follow national, state, provincial, and local laws when using pesticides and or other control methods to manage pests. Wildlife Control Consultant, LLC, Pest Geek Podcast, Living the Wildlife Podcast, Stephen M. Van Tassel, or their or his affiliates are not responsible for followers' use of the information provided here.